friends, it's Stephy and welcome to another video on my channel. Just want to say real quick, sorry if my lipstick looks shitty. I apparently forgot how to put lipstick on. And sorry again if like the light looks like it's coming from the bottom of me. It's because like I have the curtain like right here and there's still some like, I have a short curtain and it's like letting in some of the light, and if I just open the curtain and too much light comes in and I look really greasy and that's why I'm kind of filming like inside of the curtain, if that makes sense. So but today's video is going to be a kind of a serious kind of video. I'm going to be sharing tips on how to survive without utilities. And again, sorry if you hear the wind. It's because it's really hot and I have my window open to keep in some of the cold air or the cool air. So yeah. So before I even get started with telling you the tips and tricks, or just tips about how to survive without utilities, I'm just gonna say that if you know somebody who's going through something like this where they're gonna have something cut off, show them this video so they can get the tips that I'm gonna tell you right now about how to survive without utilities, and that's water, gas, and light. Because, you know, I've gone through this before. I'm actually going through it right now, and I thought it would be a good time to share my tips and tricks that my family and I do to survive without utilities. So the first one I'm going to be talking about is water, and water is actually the very worst utility to get cut off. Why is it the worst one? It's the worst one because you can't take a shower in your own house. You can't use the toilet without the water. I mean, how's it gonna flush? And you can't wash your dishes, you can't do your laundry, you can't even have your own drinking water without water. So here are some tricks to like help you when you get your water bill cut off, or when you get your water cut off. So when you know you can't pay for your water bill, and you know that they're gonna cut off your water, what I suggest you do a day or two before they cut off your water is to fill everything up with water. Fill your bathtub with water, fill your sinks with water, fill any big buckets you have, fill big pots. If you have empty containers of soda, fill that up. If you have empty like jugs of milk, fill that up. Fill up anything that you could with water that you have in your house, anything. Fill mini water bottles of water so you can like have it for drinking or stuff, and put one in the bathroom so then you can like use it to brush your teeth and stuff. One tip I'm gonna give you is when you want to use a bathroom in your own house and you don't have water, when you have water in your tub, you just take a big bucket, or not a big bucket, but a bucket, and you just scoop out water from the bathtub and put it in the toilet until it all flushes down. So another thing is when you use the bathroom and you don't have water, I suggest you not use a lot of toilet paper, because when you want to flush it with the buckets of water, it's gonna be kind of hard to flush the toilet when you have big things of toilet paper in it. So don't do that. And another thing that I suggest you do when you don't have water or in your house is try and find someone close to you who is willing to help you out. I am fortunate enough to have my grandma and my aunt live across the street, so I could just go to their house whenever I need to take a shower, or like use their toilet, or like even wash clothes if I needed to. But if you don't have someone who's close enough, who's willing to let you stay at their house, or willing to let you go over to do all that stuff, I recommend that you go to, if you are in school, or if you, wherever you work that has a shower, tell them your situation and say that you need to take a shower there. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of programs around, especially if you're in school, that will let you use the, shower and stuff in the schools and stuff. So there are like 75 cents, $1 laundromats everywhere. If you need to do your laundry, you could just pay $1 or whatever. I don't even know. I've never been to a laundromat, but go to a laundromat to do your laundry. That's all I really have as a tip for you for water. Like I said, it's the worst one. So the next one is the gas. So what do you do when you get your gas cut off? Well, and what if you have a gas stove? I recommend that you get a plug-in stove. We used to have one, we don't have it anymore, but when you have a gas stove, how are you gonna cook? I recommend that you get a plug-in stove, and you can I think they come in with like 2 stove tops, you can use that to cook. Obviously you have your microwave too, and you can also get a plug-in conventional oven if you like really need an oven. And what do you do when it's wintertime and you don't have gas? Well, I recommend you get a plug-in heater to heat up your house. I actually like plug-in heaters more than I do the vent system of a house, because it just heats up your house faster, and it's easy to use. I recommend you get a plug-in heater that looks like a radiator, because those heat up faster than the ones that don't look like a radiator. I mean, that's just in my opinion, but just get a plug-in heater. Also, get a lot of blankets and cover yourself with the very thick comforters. Those will help. And also, if you live with somebody and you're not that uncomfortable with it, sleep together at night when it's cold, because, you know, body heats everything. Especially if you have a pet too. So what do you do when you want to take a nice warm bath or shower, but you don't have any gas to warm up the water in your house? Well, I suggest that you take a big pot and put that on top of your your plug-in stove and heat up water that way. I would recommend that you put a bucket that's almost the size of the bathtub inside the bathtub, so you could put warm water in there and then take cold water and then make it warm, and then you could take like a sponge bath, or just take buckets and put it on your head to, like, you know, rinse yourself. But you can always take a bath too. You could always just fill up the water with cold water and then heat up warm water and put that in the bathtub to make like a warm bath and stuff. So that's what I recommend. That's all the tips I have for gas. Now the next one I'm going to be telling you guys about is electricity. And actually that one is not the worst one. The worst one is actually water, and electricity is not the worst one. So what do you do when you have your electricity cut off? Of course you're not going to have your Netflix, your internet, you're not going to have light, obviously. What do you do? Well, I recommend you guys to buy a lot of candles, a lot of flashlights, a lot of batteries, a lot of matches, and lighters. You're going to need it, especially if you like to stay up at night and you can't see anything. Obviously you're gonna need flashlights and candles. Now when you buy candles, I recommend you buy the candles that are the long ones, or the thick ones that are long, because they light the brightest and they also last a little bit longer, kind of, but they definitely light the brightest. When you have candles like that, I recommend you get a candelabra or get a candle holder, or something like that can hold a candle. Now you could use candles that have scents in them, like the Yorkie candles, what do you call them? Those candles that have scents that people always love. You could use those candles too, but I just recommend you get the long candles because they light the brightest. So flashlights, I don't really know about flashlights, but just try and get a flashlight that is really bright and that doesn't waste that much battery, because you're gonna like buy a lot of batteries to make sure that your flashlight doesn't run out. So get a few flashlights, because obviously like one of them might not work. So you're also going to need to get a lot of matches and lighters to light up your candles and stuff. I recommend you get those lighters that are super long, so then I just feel like those are easier to light up candles with than the regular lighters you use, like you just go like that with. And same thing with matches. Get the long matches so then you don't burn yourself when you're trying to turn on a candle and stuff. So what do you do for entertainment if you don't have light? Well, you could read a book. I mean, I've read a lot of books since the lights turned off. You could also play a game with your family if you're with your family. You could play bingo with someone. You could do a puzzle. If you have pets, you could attend to your pets more often than you would when you did have light. So what do you do if you need to charge your phone or your laptop or your tablet or whatever? I recommend that you find a family member who is willing for you to let them go to their house to charge all your stuff, or when you're at school or at work, charge everything, so then when you come home you can have all your stuff charged and won't have to worry about it. If you do have a phone or a smartphone, which I don't, but like if you do have a smartphone, I do recommend you getting a portable charger, and then in this case get a few portable chargers so then you can like charge your phone at home without having to bother anyone for a while. So get portable chargers, charge all of those, and then you can charge your phone at home. If you have a laptop and you charge it at someone else's house, I recommend that you maybe download some movies or something, or ask someone to borrow DVDs so you could watch movies on your laptop if you're that bored in your own house. If you don't have light, I mean that's what you have to go through. Another thing that I recommend if you don't have light, how are you going to keep your food cold because your refrigerator is not going to work? Well, I recommend that you get a cooler, like a cooler that you would take to the beach, and get some ice. Go to the corner store, go to like the gas station to get some ice and fill that container with ice. I recommend that you leave the plastic on the ice though, but it's just whatever you want. So put the ice in the cooler and keep the foods that only need to be cool. So at this point, when you don't have light, you're not going to be able to buy food that you need to be refrigerated. You have to buy foods that are not easily perishable, that are not easily spoiled. So like get rices, get pastas, sandwich breads, maybe some fruits. But the things that you should keep in the cooler is some sandwich meat, milk if you like to drink milk and stuff, obviously some water bottles if you like water bottles and stuff, and basically stuff that needs to be cold, which is basically mostly meats and like some vegetables. But yeah, and at this point, this is a good idea if you are a kind of person who likes to eat a lot. Having no light in your house is kind of a good thing, because since you can't keep a lot of things in your fridge because it's gonna spoil and you don't have light, it will make you eat less than you would when you did have light. So that's kind of like the good thing about it. So yeah, and for your condiments, you don't really need to keep all your condiments cold, but I would try not to buy things that try not to buy things that need to be cooled in the refrigerator, because your refrigerator is not going to be working at this time. And so right when your light turns off and you have food in your fridge that you need to get cooked or that are going to spoil, just cook it all, eat it, or do something, but just make sure that you have a cooler to keep the foods that you need to be cold in there. So also, I recommend that you open all your curtains in your house so all the natural sunlight can come in and light your house. That will also save you money on candles and flashlights, because you won't need to use them during the day when the sun's out. So that's one good tip. So obviously, when you don't have electricity, how are you going to wash your clothes? Well, at this point, I recommend that you wash your clothes by hand in the bathtub. I do that a few times. It's not that hard. All you gotta do is just put soap on your clothes and rub them together so that you can get all the dirt out. If you have one of those things that you could use to go like this with your clothes, I don't even know what it's called. You could use that too, but since I don't have one, I just usually rub my clothes together to get them clean and just swirl them around the water. I recommend that when you do wash clothes in the tub, make sure that your tub is clean so none of your nasty body dirt from that tub can go in your clothes. So wash your tub before you even wash your own clothes. And I also recommend that you wash clothes in small loads, because you're going to have to squeeze all the water out of these clothes just to dry it. And believe me, squeezing all the water out of these clothes is not fun. It hurts. You have to squeeze your hardest to get every last drop of water out of these clothes so it can dry, and it kind of hurts. So that's why I recommend you do a small load in the tub. And then when you want to dry your clothes, take a piece of string, a very thick, long piece of string that's good enough for hanging clothes, and hang it in some part of your house where where it can dry and stuff. So that's all the tips that I have for you guys at the moment. If I have more, I'll probably make a separate video and connect to this one. I don't know, but these are all the tips that I have for you guys. So again, if you know someone who's going through struggles like what I just said, that if they're getting a utility cut off because they need to pay for rent or for their mortgage versus other bills, then show them this video so they can know how to survive without utilities. And this is also good if you have a blackout too and nothing works, if a natural disaster happens and stuff like that, or so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was really, really helpful, and please share this video. It would be really appreciated. This is a very important video for me, because I'm sharing tips that I do myself whenever these things happen to me. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and please comment down below what you thought of this video. Was it helpful? Did you think it was really interesting? And if you haven't already, please subscribe. It would mean so much to me if you just subscribe. It lets me know that you enjoy my content, and if you want more content, you can get notifications for when I do make or post another video on this channel. Until next time, bye.